Good afternoon, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. What is Toastmasters all about? Of course, it's about improving our speaking skills. But is that all Toastmasters is about? Can anyone give me some examples of something other than speaking that Toastmasters can help us improve on? Marie.
It's about cooperation.
Wonderful.
Leadership.
Leadership.
Organization.
Organization.
Time management.
Ooh, I like that one.
Learning to be more optimistic.
The opportunity to be more optimistic? Yeah. All right, great. So I'm hearing confidence and I'm hearing leadership. Absolutely. Today, I'm going to talk with you about a couple of things that everyone should learn to become a more effective leader. As you can see, the title tells you. Today I'm going to talk about goal setting and planning. How many of you have determined to achieve a task only to discover that you didn't quite have the follow-through to complete what you started out for? Yeah. I would say that doesn't work. I would say New Year's resolutions easily fall into this category. All right, let's be honest. Who has had a failed New Year's resolution? Yeah, all right. And Matt, you had a goal, but did you have a plan?
Not for the ones that were successful.
Okay, very good. I think we can all agree that a failed goal probably did not have a proper plan behind it. Of course, planning your actual goal is a great place to start goal planning. Today I'm going to talk to you about the S.M.A.R.T Method. Some of you may have heard this, but I think we can all use a refresher. I'm going to use our open house from last year to give some examples of some of these points. So a goal needs to be specific. On March 6th, our club decided to have an open house on May 29th. The goal became more specific when on April 3rd, we determined who would be the leader of the open house, who would be the Toastmaster, who would be the guest speaker, and how we were going to market that event. A goal needs to be measurable. We sat together and determined how many club members needed to be involved in our open house to make it successful. We also planned how many people we were going to invite. A goal needs to be action-oriented. After every meeting, everybody had a task to be completed. There was no one who didn't have something to do. A goal needs to be realistic, which means it needs to be challenging, practical, and achievable. There was lots of discussion about how many people should we anticipate at our open house. This room will hold 50 chairs. So if we targeted 100 guests, we have to find another venue. Some people thought, oh, 50 is a lot of people. What if we just go with 30? 30 was achievable. But was it challenging? Eventually we decided the room holds 50 people. Let's plan for 50 people. And the T in our S.M.A.R.T method, the goal needs to be, there it is, time-bounded. Each meeting, the tasks had to be completed by our next meeting. And of course, we had the ultimate time restriction that the open house had to be ready to go by May 29th. So that is, in a nutshell, your S.M.A.R.T method for goal planning. Now we're going to transition, or goal setting. Now we're going to transition to more planning. Oh, I forgot to ask you. Was our open house a success? No, you guys forgot to ask me. Was your open house a success?
Yes.
Yes, it was. For those of you who were there, I think we've got a couple. Was it a success?
Yes.
Yes. We had 35 people. We planned on 50, we had 35. If we had planned for 30, do you think we would have had 35? No. I think we had a pretty realistic goal. And we had an explosive open house. So now we're going to talk about planning. Goal setting is not just planning. Planning is much, much more than goal setting. There's many benefits to planning. Some of these include planning, there it is, makes leaders think of the future. You can't really plan ahead and only think about what's happening today. Planning enables leaders to collaborate together. When leaders come together, they don't necessarily all have to agree, but they need to at least be on the same page. Planning reinforces your goals. As you're planning, you're looking at your goals and going, oh yeah, that's what we need to get done. Planning ensures, hopefully, an efficient use of your resources. I like this one, ready? I put this one in. Hello? It's kind of Mr. Obvious statement there. We all need to be mindful of the ways that we are using our manpower and our financial resources. Toastmasters actually breaks down the planning process for us in 5 easy steps. The first step is to establish strategies. How are you going to achieve your goal? And then list them. Write down how you're going to achieve your goals. And then make sure everyone has a copy. Oops. Set a timetable. This is going to force you to prioritize. You've got to have your steps in order so you're not getting them confused. And assign, where am I? Assign responsibilities. Is this going to work? Yes. A good leader incorporates other people into their team. They don't just take over. And a good leader doesn't stand back and dictate. A good leader is part of the team. Anticipate obstacles. Get together and have a brainstorming session. What might happen that's not part of our plan? And how are we going to handle that if or when that happens? Modify as necessary. Seldom is a plan perfect. Stuff happens, and you need to be able to adjust to it. That right there is Toastmasters goal setting and planning. Most of the information came out of this manual. Some of it came out of January's Toastmaster magazine. There's lots of good information in these magazines, you guys. Make sure you're reading them. In the manual, a lot of the examples were about becoming a distinguished club. We don't talk about that as a goal very often, but I think every Toastmasters club has the goal of becoming a distinguished club. So at this time, I'm going to ask our one remaining founding member, Miss Amy Hoops, are we a distinguished club yet? Yes or no?
No,
No.
not this year.
Come on, guys. All right, Amy, will you come up here and take a couple of minutes and tell us what our club needs to accomplish to achieve that goal?
To become a distinguished club with Toastmasters, there are 10 possible points that you can get. 1 point you can get by having all your officers trained in the spring and the fall. We've done that. Check. The second point you can get by having your dues paid on time for the spring and the fall. We can do that. We did that. Check. We got 2 points. The other is new members, having 4 new members during an annual cycle. The cycle starts in July and goes through June. We've done that. Check. A 4th point can be arrived with 4 new members on top of the 4, and we have actually done that. Check. So those are our 4 points that we have so far. Officers trained, dues paid on time, new members, and new members. There's 6 other points that are still available for us, and to become distinguished, we need at least 5. To become select distinguished, we need 7, and to become president's distinguished is 9 points out of the 10. So the 6 other options is 2 of our members need to have CCs turned in that calendar year. A second point is 2 more CCs. Now, I know John is very close, and I know there's one other member that's really close of getting Alan. So there's a possible point out there. Also, the other 4 points are 1 of our members can either turn in a CL, an Advanced Communicators Bronze, Advanced Leadership Bronze, any of those. I actually have a CL ready to go. So as soon as we can get that processed, it's actually my Advanced Communicator, my Advanced Leadership Bronze award. Once that's processed, then we will be distinguished and have 5 points. And then we would need 2 more points to become the select distinguished. So at this point in time, we only have 4 points, but we do have line of sight to become distinguished by the end of June.
So what are the other 2? What do we need to do to become the next level?
We need either 2 CCs turned in, or a CL. So it sounds like you've got a CC ready, John's got a CC ready. That would give us 1 point. 2 CCs equals 1 point, and any CL or advanced leadership or communicator is 1 point.
A second advanced leader?
And I think, Pam, this speech right here today will give us a point. Is that correct? So we have line of sight to get to select by the end of June.
Thank you. Well, Toastmasters, there you have it. Our goal for the next 2.5 months is to get 2 people through their communicator manual.
Can I make one more comment?
Absolutely.
This is the Distinguished Club Report, And it is available to all of us on our BCP Toastmasters website link. It's right on the left-hand column. It says DCP report. And you can click on that, and this is the report that will come up. And it'll give you all of our points and where we need to go.
Wonderful. All right, so you guys evaluate where you're at in your speeches. Think of some really quick. Because remember, together, we can do it. Mr. Toastmaster.